All
Okay.
right, we always step over each other, Ben. So who's going to start this one?
Oh, rock, scissors, paper. Do you want to? You take first shot at it, and I'll follow up for you. How about that?
I'll just
good.
introduce you, and then we'll get into it. Good evening, welcome to our community. Today we have an AMA with Ruby here to speak about the project. Is Benjamin and Rob. So if we could just start maybe with the core team experience and background in crypto, that would be great, guys.
Sure. So my name is Rob Carroll. I am the Chief Growth Officer for the Ruby Play Network. And basically, it is my job to make sure that we get visibility to the project. We're bringing in new users to the network, new developers using the platform, and in general, just kind of all things marketing. Myself, I've been doing app and game development for about 18 years. I used to work for LucasArts as a producer on some Star Wars video game titles. I worked at Zynga as a producer on their games like Mafia Wars, and they called it the X-Wars games. I was the North American executive producer at Wargaming for the World of Tanks mobile game launch, and then a number of other projects along the way, including the head of publishing for a company called Tapjoy, which is a mobile game advertising company out of San Francisco. So I've been working in mobile gaming for a number of years, working in advertising and growth for mobile for a number of years as well. So that's kind of my background. The project itself, the Ruby Play Network, we are
Out there, Rob.
projects that are out there. And so we have taken this idea of using rewards for things like, from credit cards and airline miles and things like that, and integrating it with the usability of the blockchain. So when you get a reward, you're actually getting a crypto token, the Ruby, which is our utility token, and you are able to take that and use it within the network to get rewards, or use it within one of the partner games that we have that have the Ruby integrated to get things within those games, or you can stake it, farm it, or take it to an exchange and use it to purchase other tokens. So that is kind of the core and the overview of myself and what the Ruby Play Network does. Hand it over to Ben to talk a little bit more about himself and the team.
Yeah, great. I think you cut out in the middle there, Rob, a little bit, so we might need to circle back around. But my name is Benjamin Delica. I'm the CEO of the Ruby Play Network. I'm based with the core team down here in New Zealand. We actually have two gaming studios, one in Christchurch and one in Westport. We basically different sides of the South Island of New Zealand. We have about 40 guys who are full-time, so those are faces we see every day. The core team and I have actually been together building companies for about the last 15 years. So we built a company called Cerebral Fix Limited down here in New Zealand, which is the largest supplier of digital entertainment products to the Walt Disney Corporation. So Cerebral Fix today does anything from helping making those new games in the App Store for mobile on the back of their really great brands like Marvel, etc., or doing stuff like helping them build their new rides inside the parks. So that's a bit about our background. We've been together as a team for a very long time. We stepped away about 5 years ago to create the Ruby Play Network. And then just bringing it round in terms of summary as to what we are. The Ruby Play Network is really a game of two halves, we like to say. We have our own private gaming network at the moment, for which we use our token inside of. And then the other piece of the puzzle for us is that we have a tokenized rewards platform, the Ruby itself. So yeah, that just bookends what Rob was saying, really.
Okay, great. Yeah, it's quite a unique opportunity for our investors. You've got Charchingo, Wild Ruby, Loyal Royal Casino. You've been in real life company. I'm just wondering how it's going to sort of tie in with the token going forward. Will that be maybe offered in the future on them platforms, or?
I can
absolutely. You go, Rob.
All right, I can touch on that a little bit. So as Ben was saying, we are a a fairly sizable development company, and we really have two verticals of the company. I oversee the token side, so it's my job to make sure that we have growth on the network and that we have ways to use the Ruby within our ecosystem. But then the other half of the company is actually a game development studio. And so they have been building real money games, social casino games, a lot of different types of online games for a number of years. And we currently have 5 out in market. So we have one of the games, Strawberry Sweep, that we have developed for a partner, which is a social casino sweepstakes game that uses actual cryptocurrency. So you can spend Bitcoin, you can spend ETH, and you can actually win those tokens, win that cryptocurrency in the game. We're also working with land-based casinos in the U.S., and we provide their online gaming infrastructure, the games themselves, the player management, the back end, and then the casinos deal with the the money transactions. There, they have the licenses. So the company itself, we're actually profitable off the gaming revenue alone, but we have a lot of experience in that space, in player management, and in building rewards for people to keep them coming back. And that's really kind of the core of what we've built the Ruby Play Network out of, is this understanding of what people like for rewards and what is actually valuable to a user. And so within the company, we have been using the Rubies in our gaming products now for going on 8 months. So I think the term we use is we've been dog fooding our own product there. So before we put it out to market, which is going to be later in Q2 this year, we will have the public platform ready. We've been testing it. We've had real world users on it, and they've been giving us feedback and telling us what they like, what they don't like, and actually using the rubies in the game to collect rewards.
Awesome. Yeah, you've got free to play and play to earn games as well. How does that work for investors going forward?
All right. So we have within the gaming side, we had a couple of games. We had a Spin to Win, which is a spinner game where people could come in and spin the wheel and win rubies, win prizes with some of our partners. We had some NFTs on there. We also have our Parapets minting game, which is an NFT game that people can play. The Spin to Win we had to shut down. It got a little bit too popular with the bot community, and they were really giving us a good beating on that. But yeah, we've got experience building play to earn, but that's really for the Ruby side. That's not going to be the focus for us. The focus is the network and bringing in developers to work with us, people that have that Web3 base, that are building blockchain games and are looking for ways to bring users to their blockchain games. That's our focus on the Ruby Play Network side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's
sure.
Sorry, I think it's you can look at our project and see all these things that we've got going on, and I think very quickly you can become overwhelmed by the sheer amount of different things that we're sort of engaged in. So I find it often helpful just to simplify everything out and just take a perspective and go, okay, these guys are all about gaming. They're all about their rewards platform. What's that actually going to mean for them in the future? And when you sort of take that step back, what you kind of realize is there's only really 2 things that we need to care about in terms of doing our job. One is, what is in the bowels of our tokenomics model? What does that look like? What is actually material? And the second thing is, okay, so you're all about your token, which is going to help your gaming network. How are you building your gaming network? How can that be really big? And when you start to think about that, that's why you start to see us, you look at all the complexity that we've got going on, and you start to realize, oh, wow, they actually do need to be having this much complexity because they're in a game of critical mass, meaning we've got to have enough product out there and enough onboard enough users into the token so that our ecosystem is full, and therefore we are providing value. So when I strip that back to those 2 basic concepts, if you look inside our tokenomics model, at the very bottom of it, what you kind of realize is effectively what we're doing is we're taking profits from revenue that we generate in our gaming network, and we're using that to buy our token off the open market. So what that does is it distills value back in to the global tokenomics model. So that's key point number one. And then key point number two, as I was saying, is we need to eventually get a plethora of products. So we need our publishing model. We need as many games as we can put out there, as many partner platforms that will onboard the Ruby token to add to that utility and to really give the token a purpose. But of course, then it all ties back around into the basic tokenomics model, whereas as we grow our network, we grow our revenues, we grow the amount of money we are pumping back into our token economy. So just a bit more around all the complexity that you see that Rob is talking to, because it can be very confronting to realize that we've got free-to-play games, that we've got all these gaming platforms, and very soon we're going to have a flight of NFT gaming games coming out as well.
Are they actually web-based and iOS and Android, or are you blockchain?
So we focus on web and we focus on mobile. So that's where our platforms and products roll out. As I think you asked if they were blockchain based, they'll have NFT backends, but a lot of what we build when we build gaming is around our core tech that we have, which is very centralized. So it's a nice little hybrid between the two. On-chain, off-chain.
In terms of the game, like the mechanics of what we build, we're very focused on progressive web technology. And so we're more mobile web than iOS or Android store at this point. Once the stores kind of figure out how they're going to approach blockchain and Web3 games, we'll have our products ready for them. But in the meantime, we're not going to wait on the platforms to figure that out. So we're on the web and mobile web, so it's on devices already.
That's great. And I think I read with Strawberry Sweeps in the future, you're going to build a gaming metaverse. Is that correct?
No, I wouldn't say we're building a metaverse. Everybody else is. What we want to focus on is we want to be the picks and shovels of the metaverse. So as you know, there's tons of great developers. There's probably 50 or 60 developers announcing every week that they're going to build the next incredible blockchain game, the next metaverse. It's a very crowded space, and we really want to be there to help those developers get their games discovered. So rather than building a metaverse, no, we're definitely not doing that. We have great casino and social gaming technology that can plug into pretty much any metaverse space, but we're not building a metaverse.
Yeah, and I'll back onto that too. So what you read was a bunch of words around Strawberry that is talking about the metaverse. But the way we see it, as Rob was saying, is we want to be the fun thing you do in the metaverse. We don't necessarily want to be the guys building the platform, which is the metaverse, because there's just too much competition out there already for that.
And then your real life company like Charchingo, Wild Ruby, you're looking at buyback and burns in the future for the Ruby token.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so that's what that tokenomics model is all about. We buy back from the open market in order to be able to keep giving our customers inside of our network the token as rewards. So as the network grows, and I was just looking up the stats while I was talking, I think we've got an announcement coming out that last month we did $6 million US in gaming turnover. This month looks like we're going to smash 7 million. So we've got quite a strong growth rate that we're holding inside the network. But as that grows, more money gets pumped into the tokenomics model. And then you're right, we have a deflationary element to it that is when people redeem on our platforms, we burn out 5% of that as well.
How does the tokenomics Ruby token buys and sells for investors? Yeah.
Sorry, I think I cut out there a little bit. Could I get you to ask that question again, please?
Yeah. How does the tokenomics work for investors for the buys and sells on the Ruby token when that launches?
If in terms of investors buying or selling, The token rounds now have all been completed. We did do several token rounds with discounts, but of course the IDO opens up today and then we list on Wednesday, and the market is then sort of live, so investors can come and buy and sell on the market. In terms of our tokenomics, there's no fancy stuff like tax, etc. The token is just what you see is what you get, with the one exception of the fact that we burn a little bit out every now and again. On those transactions. Otherwise, it's a fairly vanilla proposition. In the background, we do have 40% of our tokenomic of our in total generated token, which sits to one side. That is our treasury. And basically, what we have to do with our treasury, if we want access to that, we have to put up a vote against all of the token holders, put up a proposal, and then token holders get to vote on that. And so if we say, look, the network's growing really quickly, we need access to more of those tokens, we put up a vote, and then people vote and decide that they don't want us to have access to those tokens, we would have to go back to the open market and buy all of those again as well. So we're expecting interesting things to happen with respect to those votes.
Speaking a little bit on the, just to speak a little bit on the burn within our ecosystem. So, as Ben touched on, we do have some burn mechanics. The kind of the easy way to relate to that is when users redeem a reward, redeem their rubies for a reward on the platform. So let's say they're playing a game and they see something cool that they want to purchase with the rubies. They say they spend 100 rubies. Part of those rubies go to the developer as a reward for being part of the network. Part of those rubies go to us, as part of our revenue. A portion of the majority of it goes back into the rewards pool, and then we burn some of those tokens off that have been redeemed. So within the ecosystem, the developers getting rewarded, we get some, the users get some of that reward back into the pool, and then there is a deflationary mechanic in there that some of the rubies go away.
Okay, great. And yeah, so that's great. It's going to be a governance token, and investors will be able to vote on different aspects going forward. But I also noticed you've got Binance Smart Chain Accelerator Fund invested in Ruby Play. And then looking at central exchanges, it seems to imply on the website that you might be able to get on Binance because of that backing.
Yeah, that one. We're not allowed to say that we're going to get listed on Binance. Binance get a bit finicky about that one. But talking about the investment and backing in the group. So Binance have come on. They're not just, they didn't just participate in the token round. They also bought a share of the company. So they're an equity partner inside of the Ruby Play network. We also have Gate that invested. They came on. We have Yellow, who are our market makers. So they split out of GSR, the world's largest market maker. And Coinpresso, which is a fantastic marketing group. All of these folks have come in to back the program. So we have a few more announcements coming out in the next 48 hours. I think, Rob, would be fair in terms of other folks that are backing the project. So, so yeah, as soon as you get approval, right?
And you've got a CertiK audit coming up. Is that planned a week or two after launch?
Well, I was really hoping we would have that by now, if I'm completely honest. But any day now, that'll be out.
And what's the marketing plans going forward after the launch for the Ruby token and supporting the real life company as well in the future?
It's all you, Rob.
Figured I can handle this one. So going forward, as I said, we are looking to press the network and really expand the users on there. We already have over 100,000 people that have signed up for the Ruby Play network. People have given us their email, given us their wallet address, and as we launch the alpha of the public version of the platform, those people will all get rewards, and they'll all be on the network there. We are looking to expand and bring more people onto the network going forward. So we'll be doing advertising and working with some of our gaming partners to raise the visibility there. And then, for the developers, we are actually providing them with that discovery. So reaching out to our network, reaching out to the people on the platform and saying, hey, here's a very cool game. You get some free rubies for going and checking that out. So that's kind of the core within the network itself of what our plan is. And then in terms of outreach, doing a lot of work on Twitter, doing a lot of work with gaming partners. We're also fairly active, kind of being thought leaders within the space. So writing articles. I've got a couple that I've written for Bazinga and some more in the works. So keeping a good press on Twitter, keeping our community live and active with our amazing mods and the folks that work there, and really just kind of keeping the communication open. I think that's the plan over the next 6 months here, and then as we go forward, hopefully raising the visibility and raising the stakes of the advertising.
Yeah, Rob's definitely got a lot of work to do in terms of what happens post-launch. But, I think it's strange. But the thing I'm most excited about is actually crypto winter. If you look back at the end of 2021, you sort of realize that there are a ton of NFT gaming projects that got pretty decently funded pretty quick. And then there's just a ton of VC money that's gone pumping into half-decent teams with good ideas. What that means is in about 6 months to 12 months' time, there is going to be an amazing amount of gaming product in blockchain hitting the market. And it'll be hitting the market potentially at a time when the markets might be a little bit more suppressed. So you're actually going to end up with a flood of product in a depressed or suppressed market space. And I think that is the perfect sort of situation for a rewards and discovery network to actually get busy and do its job. So it might sound a little strange, but that's the thing I'm most excited about post-launch.
I was wondering if, with all the experience you've got in gaming, you'd be looking at partnerships and approaching other projects in crypto in the future as gaming is exploding around the blockchain.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
We're already having those discussions already. So we've got a very deep network with a lot of the game studios, and I see the announcements from a lot of my gaming friends out there. Their studios getting funded, and the cool new projects that they are creating. But kind of as Ben was saying, they're getting funded now. They're creating them now, and so 6 months to a year to 2 years from now, these guys are going to hit the market and be looking for that help, and we want to be there for them.
Rob's an absolute heavyweight. Like I let him talk about himself. I think he honestly does himself a bit of disservice. I mean, it's hard to talk about yourself, right? In terms of Rob's background in industry, he touched on it earlier. He was the director of publishing at Tapjoy. So that was pretty much a company that was doing a similar thing to what we're looking to do back in the day when mobile was taking off. And in that role, Rob interacted with every major gaming studio on the planet, just about. So we really do have a good inside track to what's going on in the market space, and we plan to put this experience to good use.
I think it cuts out there momentarily, but yeah, that's great. So you've got Rob on board, and obviously he's got all that them contacts, bringing real life gaming and stream and Twitch and other projects, and bringing them into crypto in the future. So yeah, that's great.
I'm always happy to talk about how awesome I am, but usually nobody listens. It doesn't make for an interesting AMA.
Well, I can open it up to the rest of the team if anyone's got a question for Rob or Benjamin over here at Ruby Token. Go ahead.
Hey Glenn, yeah, I was listening in, and it's very rare that we get people with this tremendous amount of experience to back what they're saying and to back their vision. So I hope I'm not going to be I don't know, too egotistic, but I'm just curious about a few things, because you guys seem to have like a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge. And I was looking at the games that you have and on Strawberry Berry sweeps and all that, and I'm curious, like, which type of games do you guys think is going to be not the next best thing, the most played, and which ones do you think is going to be the one that will earn people the most money, especially with these new metas coming around, like each month, and it's a brand new year, so I'm guessing it's anybody's game, but you guys probably have a better insight on this sort of stuff.
Yeah, I'm happy to touch on that a bit. I think it's actually fairly easy to tell you what the biggest game coming out of Web3 is going to be. It's going to be a game that's fun. It's going to be a game that's well made and that people are into. The mechanics, the fundamentals of making a game and developing that content for users, it doesn't change with the blockchain. The blockchain allows for some amazing new opportunities in ownership and just the way you can monetize and you can interact with your users. But you make a crap game, nobody's going to play it. And I think that fundamental still sticks. So I couldn't tell you right now what the next awesome game is going to be. I've played a little bit of Axie. I think it was a incredible game to kind of launch what it is that we're doing. And it's created a lot of opportunity for people. You've got this whole scholar ecosystem that was created by Axie, and it's really given people a lot of ideas on what they can build and what the opportunity can be with play to earn and what Web3 is. But I think if everybody tries to make a game like Axie, that just mimics that model, the industry will fail. Because those kind of games are not necessarily the funnest games out there. So I think you want to look at, the model, and what I hear being said a lot now is play and earn. So, if you look back to World of Warcraft and people mining and selling gold, the Warcraft's obviously an amazing game, and people found ways to, make a living out of this gold farming. And I think that looking at the games that people are working on now, if you have a good game that's fun and you have a mechanic where people can go in and earn some money playing it, all the better. I think it's going to be a lot of new ground to break there.
Yeah, I completely agree. It has to be fun. Like that's the main reason. Because like even last year I was looking at some games, and I've played a lot of MMOs and all that, but well, it's just not so much fun for me anymore, so I stopped playing. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, like I was following some really good concepts, and they never picked off. And then I was looking at some other gacha games, or not even silly games, but just fun mobile games or web browser based that were doing tremendously well. Like there was no pay to earn. There was nothing but fun to gain from the game, and still people were getting heavily involved. So if you can kind of balance out that fun aspect and then give people something more in return, I think it can be like tremendously yeah, profitable for everybody, not just the people making the games or people offering the games or using your platform. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I ran a guild in Clash Royale for a while, and the idea that being able to take a guild, and if we could have been making money on that, and I can think of a number of mechanics that would probably work around that idea, that'd be cool. That'd take a good game and make it even better.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember the old days of World of Warcraft where only the top competing guilds made a little bit of money from their sponsors, and it was something around a few $1,000s. It was nothing incredible, and now gaming has picked up in a way that yeah, I never imagined it going like so fast so far. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's great to get a big chunk of that market share for sure. Yeah.
I'm kind of curious to see how esports works into it. I think you have the esports teams, you have these professional groups and guilds out there, and they are, they're really playing at a high twitch speed, a high competitive factor. But that's not that's not necessarily what you're looking for like a play to earn guild. So I'm kind of curious if the esports teams will start to adopt, farming teams as well as their competitive teams.
I think like just on your point there, like as long as there's a competition involved, as long as there's a leaderboard, a player versus player aspect, I think people will clash with each other. So if it's fun and you get to play against a real human, not just the environment, I think it
Mm-hmm.
can be super fun and super lucrative for everyone. Yeah.
Alrighty. All right. We geeked out kind of hard there.
Yeah, that was it for me. I was just curious. Yeah, I'll I'll step aside. All right, thank you.
Yep.
I'm not sure how old Rob is, but yeah, we could probably go back to ZX Spectrum 48Ks and Commodore 64s. That's my sort of age exposure.
No,
But let's open it to
hack.
let's open it to investors. Here we go. Aisha, you had a question for Robert Benjamin at Ruby Token. Go ahead.
Yeah, Glenn, I do have. Thanks. Okay. On your white paper, it's mentioned about several live gaming platforms developed by you, like Wild Ruby Casino in 2018, Royal Casino, and Chachingo platform. I was wondering, are the platforms part of Ruby Play Network or they are separate entities? And will users be able to wager? Sorry?
Yep. So I can take that question. I think I understood it. So the way it works is we have a core technology within our business, a technology stack that is front end. We can plug games into it. We also own a bunch of games, and we have all this great back end technology. So metrics and reporting systems and accounting systems that all come in a tech stack, and it's very versatile. So what we do is we partner that tech stack with a third party. So Loyal Royal is a third party. Chachingo is a third party that we've partnered with. Wild Ruby Racing Casino is the same. All of these things are partnered with a third party. So we provide the games, the technology, we provide the team to help run events on it, and all that kind of stuff. But you've really kind of picked our business model there. So well done. So that's how we operate in the world. But we will be, because I think the second part of your question was, will people be able to take the token there and use the token to buy effectively goods and services in those games? Yes, people will. You can already do it in an OTC format, working with the customer services reps on those platforms, but we will be formalizing that with the rewards platform that Rob is currently building. So yes, you'll be able to take that to all of those gaming platforms and many, many more. That is what we're in business to do. Did I answer all of your questions there?
Yeah, thank you. And I also want to know that, will you be hiring developers for developing games for Ruby Play Network, or any independent developer can use Ruby Play Network platform for developing their own games on blockchain?
Both of those statements are true. But yep, go Rob.
I was going to say I can touch on that a bit. So we will be working with third-party developers, and I think we've talked a bit in the past about a publishing platform and publishing program that we will be rolling out in the future. We don't really have any details on that yet, but that will be coming. And we will be allowing third-party games onto the network. Those will be curated, so it's not an open API that anyone can plug into. We are treating it much more like the Apple ecosystem as opposed to the Android ecosystem. So we want to make sure that the games that are coming in are using the rewards intelligently, and that the games are good and they're not rug pulls, and they are made by maybe not reputable, but good developers. We want to bring in new folks, and we want to bring in new games and ideas, but we've got to make sure that they are good games and that they're not going to be a bad experience for our players.
Yeah, we talk about this all the time behind the scenes as well. The word love is very important. You don't have to be the best game developer ever, but if you're going to make a game, you really have to love your product and pour all of that love into it. So we'll be backing folks that are one-man bands and various other things, just as long as we truly believe that the people that are creating that content really care about that content. Because at the end, everybody knows this that's played a game. You can feel that love in a gaming product. If somebody's built a game just to take money off you, like, I don't know, half of all of the games that are sitting on the App Store on mobile devices at the moment, for example, you can kind of feel that, and you just feel like that game is there just to rob you, basically. So there is this intangible concept to how Rob will be building out that publishing platform. But yeah, we really do want to see a lot of great content on our network over time.
That's really amazing. And do you guys have any plan in future for developing your own gaming studio for blockchain games, if possible?
Yes, we're very much in that space right now. So we have two plans. One is we have a bunch of developers in-house right now who are building games that do various different things on the blockchain. And the other plan is we actually plan to start buying up some studios in due course once we sort of sort ourselves out and get past this launch.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Thank you for answering my questions.
Yeah, I was wondering myself, if you get involved with the blockchain gaming side, would there be any of the profits from that go back to investors in the Ruby token in the future?
Yeah, look, to be honest, if you're creating a work for hire studio, making games for some other partner, there ain't a lot of money in it. So you're pretty much doing it to support or power the network, which is why we would be doing it. The best way to pump money back into get money back to investors, people who buy the token, is just to keep pumping money into the wider ecosystem. And again, it goes back to our basic tokenomics model. We do that by taking a percentage of our revenues at any given point in time and using that to buy tokens back off the open market.
And I'll open it up. Screen's jumping up and down here. Let's have a look. Syed, you had a question for Rob or Benjamin at Ruby Token. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn. So I was going through your website, and you also mentioned about a Strawberry Sweeps platform, which is an online sweepstakes platform giving users the opportunity to win fiat currency. And when I visited the website of the sweepstakes, there was option that one has to make a donation to be able to play the games. So I was wondering what fees one has to pay to be able to play games on a sweepstakes, and will it be in native token or fiat?
Yeah, I might take this one, Rob. So let's talk about Strawberry Sweeps. Strawberry Sweeps is a really innovative product in that it allows people to play what is essentially a social casino game, but win real money, real value rewards. And the way it does that is quite smart. It is so anyone who's played a social casino knows that you basically buy gold coins and then you can never cash them out. Well, this system works the same. You buy gold coins, you can never cash those out. But when you buy gold coins, we also give you these things called strawberries. Now you can play strawberries, and when you play strawberries instead of gold coins, you actually, as you play them through, you are winning in strawberries. You actually are able to take those strawberries and cash them out. Currently, you can cash them out into crypto, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. And so that's what's really innovatively special about that product, because what it means is we can deploy that product as a social game into many jurisdictions around the world where a real money online game would otherwise be illegal. America is a great example of this. There is a prohibition, federally speaking, right across America. You are not allowed to have an online real money gaming casino in America. Yet Strawberry can roll across America, as can Loyal Royal, because it's using what is effectively a sweepstakes promotional back end to get around that legal infrastructure. So that's what's really cool about Strawberry Sweeps, and we're currently rolling that out around the world as fast as we can. It's now live in India, it's live in Bangladesh, it's live in Puerto Rico, Mexico, and the Philippines is about to open up. With every new week that goes past, we plan to be able to open up a new territory. So yeah, it's a great opportunity to jump in, buy gaming, and then also win crypto.
For the game, we're only releasing it in areas that sweepstakes games are allowed, and then we also have legal opinions from the various jurisdictions that the game does match the restrictions and the regulations of that area. So as Ben was saying, you can't buy a strawberry, but you get them for free when you purchase the coin packs. But you can take those strawberries, and if you win a bunch in the game, you can cash those out for the cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, and just while we're talking about strawberry, we're giving away on this AMA 10 different prizes of strawberries. Each of those prizes is worth 90 to $100 a pop. So if you win one of those, it's a chance to jump onto the platform and play and see if you can win yourself thousands of dollars on our platform. If you win one of those prizes and you're not in a country that Strawberry Sweeps is currently deployed in, then just talk to us and we'll buy those strawberries off you with rubies. So we'll effectively swap them out for $100 worth of rubies.
Great, that will be really great. So I was wondering, as there are many games available on Strawberry Sweeps, like Pot of Gold and Tree Bears, all these games are developed by your own developers, or any third-party developer games are also listed on the Strawberry platform?
They were all us. Our game developers developed all of those particular games. Rob likes to say we have to dog food. He runs around saying that all the time. So we decided we'd start the network off with a bunch of our gaming product, but certainly very open to other people's games if they want to start making games for our platforms.
Okay, got it. So rewards which are earned while playing the games on Strawberry platform, will it be necessary for user to have a Ruby wallet to receive these rewards, or one can receive rewards directly in their Trust or MetaMask wallet?
Oh, MetaMask wallet, definitely. We prefer MetaMask wallet, actually. The reason why we have our own wallet is simply because we do a lot of educating the late majority, folks that don't really understand crypto but love playing our games. So we built our wallet for those folks because those folks really struggled with wallets and mnemonics and all of that stuff. So we partnered with Venly to be able to get away from having to have them worry about that stuff. So if you are in crypto, if you are an investor, then you're best to stay away from our wallet and just use something like Trust Wallet or MetaMask or what have you.
Okay, great. So on your website, you also mentioned a little bit about Puri pet games, where players will build up gradually and they will get a land and they can then find and search for Puri eggs, and these eggs will contain 1,000 exclusive NFTs. So I want to know that will there be any limit on number of the NFTs player will be able to mint in the game out of 1,000 exclusive NFTs?
Yeah, so there's 1,000 exclusive NFTs in total. The game will only exist while those NFTs are being minted, and you'll only be able to find 1,000 of them. And then, of course, we will go on to building new things around that gaming product. There's not a lot I can say about this one, unfortunately, because it's kind of on Rob's post-launch list to start marketing. So we'll leave it till then for all the juicy details on Puri Pets.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much for answering.
Okay, great. Yeah, I was wondering with your online gaming, if there's advertising on them platforms, and if in the future you'd be using maybe some advertising for Ruby Token to investors that have never invested in crypto before, and doing like educational videos, things like that, to bring more people mainstream.
That's really important to us. If you look at why. So the story goes like this. We were on the NEM network. We built out our first emulators for the network on there and then promptly crashed that network. So we looked for a better technology. That was around about the start of when Binance were launching the BSC. So we integrated with those guys. We looked through that technology. The technology looked like it was more or less sound, right? It's a copy and paste of Ethereum without the ridiculous cost. And so we launched on that. In the process of launching on that, we were talking to the BSC, to the Binance guys, and they looked inside of what our business model actually is and how we're going about it. They basically took one look and decided they want to invest, and here is why. It's because we have a bunch of players, particularly in the US, who are consuming these gaming platforms already, and then we have to go through this process of teaching them how to use our rewards token. So we've got all this wonderful data and this information, and I talk about an African-American woman in the south of America who is aged in the 45 to 65-year-old bracket. She has 2 jobs. She is middle to lower socio-eco. She's heard of Bitcoin, doesn't understand blockchain at all. individual, would never want to touch Bitcoin, would not want to go anywhere near blockchain, and she is already using our token and onboarded into our token and our wallet structure, and she's asking interesting questions about how do I sell the token on the open market. So Binance took one look at that and went, good Lord, how are you getting a person to actually onboard into crypto that has no interest in crypto and we would consider to be in the very late majority, meaning the last group of people that would actually onboard into crypto. And then, of course, I'm sure you understand that being the size that they are, they said, we've already got the crypto enthusiast market and the early adopters. So the only way we can grow now in terms of our customer base is start to interact with these projects and programs, which are bringing on the late majority and these other crowds. And so that's exactly what you're doing. I think we want to be in a really strong partnership with you. And that's actually what caused them to invest in the first place. So it's a very big piece of our mandate to actually bring the gaming world, especially the later stages and those demographics that you wouldn't normally consider being gaming, drag them into crypto ecology.
Yeah, big piece of what we do as game developers. One of the most difficult challenges that we have is how do you teach somebody to use your game? How do you as the game creator, we understand how everything works. But how do you take somebody that's never played it, maybe new to the whole network, and teach them step by step how to play the game? And the process is the same for onboarding them into crypto. It's the same kind of idea there, where it's you want to get our rewards. That's great. Here are the steps that you have to do to create this online wallet that you use to store them. So we take them through there. We have videos. We have kind of step-by-step arrow PDF tutorials to bring people in there, because honestly, we're pretty good at it. We've done it for a long time, and it's important for us to grow the network, that we're bringing in people that maybe aren't necessarily crypto native. But they are interested and they like rewards, and those are the people that are going to help us grow blockchain in general. And they're really kind of the future for blockchain games as well.
That's super exciting for investors that you've got that free marketing avenue from your online gaming that you can incorporate into Ruby Token, which not many projects in the BSC or any of the blockchains can offer. So that's exciting going forward. And I think Steam's quite anti sort of crypto, which is going to cost them in the future. Not getting on board with digital currencies going into the future, expanding. And I don't know why they're being funny about it, but yeah.
Oh no, I think they'll get there. They're just like Apple and Android. It's they have to figure out how they can earn revenue. How are they going to get a piece of that blockchain or NFT revenue from the developer? And if the developers are basically just riding on Steam's network to get users and then take them off the network to get them to buy an NFT for the project, I kind of understand where Steam is at. I think that they took the wrong approach, and they'll be playing catch up on that for a while, because I think other people are coming in now that are blockchain friendly and game distribution platforms. I know some folks that we work with, Robot Cash. They are very blockchain friendly, and they are basically the blockchain of Steam. So I think that they're going to start seeing some great growth.
Yeah, I mean, Facebook Meta is just blowing up, and Amazon's looking at metaverses. So, they're looking at a slice of the pie going into the future in that avenue. Let's open it up to John Innocent. You had a question for Benjamin or Rob. Ruby Token, go ahead. No, it doesn't seem to be. Okay, see you, Ogbana. You had a question for Ruby Token team. Go ahead. John's got his hand up again. John, are you there now?
Yeah, my question is, hello?
Hi, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, my question is, a lot of Africans are interested in this project.
as we all know. Is there any future plans to integrate any African to the team?
Yeah. Sorry, do you want me to take that, Rob, or do you want to?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we want to be global. We want to be everywhere. And through COVID, we've kind of learned that we can run our business virtually. Boots on the ground doesn't mean offices anymore. It just means good people in different places. And one of the things I'm really excited about, like we've just opened Strawberry Sweeps up to India, is that there are masses of peoples in these countries, and a lot of our product is free gaming. And so I think that's really interesting and really exciting for what that means in terms of our player base, and also in terms of how that can be leveraged to create value for our token economy. So very pro on that. We are not quite at the stage where we're putting boots on the ground yet in, say, Africa, for example. But it's a part of what really excites me about what we're doing in this space. We want to be really big, and we want to be really global.
I know we do have some of our moderator team is from Africa, and they've been doing an awesome job. We really appreciate them very much. We're open to wherever good people are located.
I had to mute because there was some background noise there, but I think that answered the question. John, are you there now? Didn't answer before.
And I have another question. I have another question, please.
All right, fire away.
Hello. Okay. The question is, hackers are currently attacking projects on a regular basis. Many projects' worst nightmare is this. So what are your plans for anticipating hacking attempts on your platforms? I don't know if you get that.
Yeah, I got that. I can answer that for you. So it's a really tricky one. It's something we in the company are fairly paranoid about. We're paranoid about it for a different reason than you might consider. Hacking and losing money and all of those kind of things is really, really bad, and we are obviously paranoid about that as well. But it's even more important to us because hacking can create really bad gaming experiences, and we're in the business of providing fun at the end of the day, right? So it's a double problem for us. Now, the solution that we're invoking at the moment is a little bit dirty. We believe the reality of the blockchain space is that it is not yet as mature as it needs to be in order to be able to safeguard against these concerns. So what that means is we choose to do a hell of a lot centrally, off-chain. We are very powerful. We have invested a whole lot of time, energy, and money, resources into building off-chain solutions that are heavily guarded and heavily sanctified. So it's really our token and a few of our smart contracts which touch the chain, and we are continually reevaluating and balancing how much we are putting on chain versus how much we are doing off chain. And that is the way we're handling most of our security risks and our security challenges. So it's a little bit of a dirty answer to be saying in the blockchain space, but there are good use case examples that we've found already with our prototype products for when to be on chain, and more importantly, for when not to be on chain. For example, right now we get asked a lot of questions about whether we ever plan to bridge to Ethereum or other tokens or blockchains, and we will in time. But we won't do that right now because if you look at last year, most of the major hacks that are really notable happened against bridges. So we want to see that technology settle down a little bit better and become a little bit better defended before we will go integrating across the top of that. And hey, let's face it, in the meantime, we've got lots of work to do anyway. But so that's how we think about risk in general from a hacking standpoint against the operations that we run.
And Leo, you had a question for Ruby Token team, Rob or Benjamin. Go ahead. No? Okay. Maybe we'll move on. There's been a lot of people joining the AMA in the middle of the call, so maybe with Rob and Benjamin, maybe we can go over the project again, do a recap for anyone that didn't catch the first half of the AMA. That'd be great.
Okay, well, seeing as you took out the front end of this, Rob, maybe I'll catch the book end.
All yours.
So we are the Ruby Play Network. We like to say we're a game of two halves. We have our own currently private gaming network of products that are out there. So gaming platforms and tons of games, which we make a revenue off already. We are ROI positive on the gaming network side of our business, which is great because it means that we're likely to be around for a little while, right? Because we can pay our bills. The other half of what we're doing is our tokenized rewards platform. So this is the Ruby token and everything we do with the Ruby token and launching it right now and using that to encourage retention and engagement and make our gaming product in general just a lot more successful. So that's what it really means to be part of the Ruby Play Network. Currently in 2 hours, just a little over 2 hours from now, we open our IDO over at acy.finance. So you can buy the Ruby token before we list next week on Bitrue for a centerpiece. And that is open to anybody in any jurisdiction because, of course, it's an IDO, right? So as simple as that. So if you like us, head on over to acy.finance and join that IDO. Now, there's only 100K up for grabs there. So we imagine that we'll probably fill that one out. So in 2 days' time, we also have a spillover, a second chance, if you will, over at Ape Swap, which is our next IDO. And that one has $200,000 worth of tokens that can be bought. So just a little bit of a recap there. Rob, did you want to add something to that?
I think that covers it pretty well. We have the two IDOs coming up, and those are both on launch pads. And then next week, we hit our first centralized exchange with Bitrue. And then we go to, I believe we list on Ape Swap and the regular exchange, and then Gate.io, Coinbit, and Whitebit as well. So lots of opportunity to get some rubies.
And then the one thing I forgot to mention was, personally, I'm super excited about all of the farming and, more importantly, staking models with all three of those platforms that we're listing on. ACY Finance is an exchange, ApeSwap is an exchange, and of course Bitrue. All of them have farming opportunities and staking opportunities as well. And just this morning, I refined what those bounties and those APYs are going to be. And I'm pretty sure at the start, those things are going to be absolutely fantastic. So a great opportunity to invest and a great opportunity also to stake for better rewards.
Remembered that I was just about to mention that I had it wrote down farming and staking at ACY Finance and ApeSwap. Thanks for updating us on that, Benjamin. Yeah, it's super exciting for our investors to speak to Rob and Benjamin today from Ruby Token. It's a unique opportunity. I think it could be really huge. So, yeah, if anyone can get involved in the pre-sale on the 11th of March tomorrow, if you actually send me a link, I can post that in the main chat for our investors, so they can maybe jump in there and get involved before the launch and the ApeSwap 13th of March pre-sale, and that'd be great. What's the soft cap, hard caps, and you don't need whitelist spots? Is it open to the public? How does it work?
Yep. Totally open to the public. Today, in 2 hours' time, I think the maximums are around about $1,000 a piece. The second chance out on Saturday, there's allocations are a lot larger. The soft cap is 100K. There's no soft cap today. There's just the one hard cap. On Sunday, there is 100K min soft cap and 200K, give or take, 200K hard cap. We're fairly confident that these rounds will be eaten up, but well, God, I hope we are. But yeah, so if you want to participate, those are the numbers.
Great, Benjamin. Yeah, like I say, it's super exciting for our investors because you've got the real life company and the online gaming, feeding into the Ruby Token project. So yeah, it's very rare we get that in crypto. So super exciting. And it's been great you come here today and told our investors about it. And yeah, we'll keep an eye on the project in the future, and you're welcome to come into the main chat and keep us updated when you launch. And yeah, it could be really huge. And yeah,
thank you.
Really nice.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. I would just say in terms of signing off is thank you very much for having us, Glenn. Thank you very much for doing an awesome job of moderating, and a shout out to the community. Thank you to all the people who have turned up and listened to us today. I do like to make sure I acknowledge this. I totally understand that you have so many other places you could be right now, and that you've chosen to spend some time listening to poor Rob and myself waffle on here. That's special to us. We greatly appreciate that you've taken the time to do this. So no harm, no foul if you're not investing, but thank you very, very much for even giving us the time of day to hear us out. We greatly appreciate you. Thank you, guys.
Yep.